back. It's actually not we. Pat's busy making pasta today, so you're here with the one juice boy. We are here with Richard and Sebastiano. I am so excited to do what we're doing today. I've been waiting for a while for this episode. I mean, not really long, but it feels like long because Richard and I planned this out for a good little bit. Sebastiano owns a winery here. He is going to give us a very good explanation of how everything he does, everything we taste, how it all works together, why he does it, how he does it, all that beautiful stuff. So, Sebastiano, Richard, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Sebastiano, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what you do, where you're from, all that good stuff, and about the winery, and then briefly, Richard is one of our reps from Atlanta Beverage.
That's
he
right.
is one of my favorite reps, hands down. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but it's true, he is.
Right.
He actually graciously brought us a spread as well, which is awesome because he knows that we get hungry on this podcast.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I hear that a lot from you guys.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to surprise you a little bit. And just on that note, just a big shout out to Capella Cheese over there.
Nice.
It's near Sweetwater. If you haven't been there, it is a toy store for people that love cheese, meats, and everything else. So got some cool stuff to go with the wines. Very Italian, everything over here, so I'm pretty stoked.
Beautiful. Sebastiano.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm Sebastiano Capponi. I come from Florence, not South Carolina, Florence, Tuscany, and I've been. My family has been in Florence for a little over 800 years. We probably set shop in Florence around the 11th century, and the family were at the time were bankers and merchants. It was instrumental to be part of a guild in order to be ruling over the city. So for 300 years, we were, I don't know, it's not a very nice word these days because of the war, we were oligarchs of the Republic of Florence. And so we ruled over the city amongst with other families. And in 1524, we purchased the state Villa Calcinaia, which sits in about 15 miles south of Florence in the region of Chianti. Chianti is a small region between Florence and Siena. It's Florence to the north and Siena to the south. And it's always been a region that made wine, and it's always been a region that made good wine. And but the wine made in Chianti is not called Chianti because we Italians like to complicate things. The wine made in Chianti is called Chianti Classico. And the estate, it's about 450 acres. It sits on the left bank of the River Greve, and it's an integrated farm. So we don't just grow vines. We make grow olive trees. We make goat cheese. Not the one we have today, but a very good one too. And we make also honey. And the fil rouge connects all these activities is organic farming. So we've been certified organic since 2000 because we started organic farming in 97. And I started taking care of the estate in 92. So it's been over 30 years now.
Was it kind of your destiny, basically? Or did you want to do something else at first?
I come from a family of intellectuals. So intellectuals, like any Marvel superheroes, have a big superpower, which is delegating. So they delegated everything to me. I was 21 years old. I said, okay, I'll give it a go. I was a student of political science, so I don't have any farming background.
No analogy or anything like that?
I'm a major in political science.
Okay. That's
So-
like me. I'm a beverage director, but I'm a sports manager.
There you go.
So, you know.
There you go. There you go. Yeah,
That's
it's a
awesome.
good thing about political science. They don't teach you.
Yeah.
They teach you everything and they don't teach you nothing. You know,
Yeah.
it's because you don't know what you're gonna do.
That's how I feel about college nowadays, period. That's
Yeah.
why I'm here drinking wine instead. You know?
Very true.
Awesome. So what wines do we have?
We have well, I like to make many different wines because I drink wine during meals. So I don't drink wine outside meals. Typically, I will drink like a beer before a meal, and I will drink a scotch after a meal. So
Yes, Pat was telling me when he went to Italy, his first time he went, he was surprised how much beer Italians drink. At least when he was
They
in
do,
Naples.
yeah.
He was like, you'll be blown away at how much beer they actually drink. People think it's wine and wine and wine, but there's a lot of
No.
beer that gets drank there.
before the meal, it's always a beer.
So what kind of beer do you drink?
Good question.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I'm a big fan. American beers. One of probably my favorite one because I find the problem I find with beer sometimes is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones brewery that I like a lot is Jolly Pumpkin up in Michigan.
Okay, yeah.
Up in Traverse City, and I do like their sours. I look like the saison they make.
Okay, yeah.
Three Floyds is another one I like. There are some, but I typically drink the kind of the Czech Pilsner, the German Pilsner,
Right.
the German Weizen.
Okay.
Clean, easy.
Yeah, and in the wintertime I like porters, good English porters like what's his name, London Pride, that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm more of a. I started out on the craft beer kick and all that. I started out with like IPAs
Yeah.
and all that, but now I'm just like, just give me a pilsner.
Yeah,
Give me a
I
clean
mean, I think
Pilsner.
the IPA thing is still going strong, but it's certainly
It's
the
dwindling.
where I started.
Yeah.
But yeah, give me a nice, clean, flawless Pilsner any
Yeah,
day.
all
Something
day.
to clean the palate and it's not super complicated.
All day.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try this. The
Bon
Metodo
Chapon.
Classico,
Oh, yeah.
correct?
We're in for
I
a
don't.
treat.
I mean, here in the States, we don't see much Metodo Classico from Tuscany.
No.
At all. So, is it a normal thing or is
No,
it?
it's-
No, it's not. Right?
no, it's
Okay,
not.
that's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty.
We
sure
don't
it's
even
not.
have yet an appellation for it because
Wow, okay.
it would be IGT Toscana Spumante, but
Right.
they haven't made yet the proposal. They don't have the. It's a kind of complicated thing. You know, you need to have a certain in order to make changes to the bylaws of the IGT Toscana. The consortium needs to have the right number of people, and they have the production, but they don't have the number of heads.
Right.
And so they are trying to have more and more associates. So when they get to a certain number of associates, they'll be able to make the changes, and will probably be introduced to the IGT Spumante will be introduced in
Cool.
Tuscany. So we'll have an appellation. Right now, it's actually Metodo Spumante, Metodo Classico, and but it doesn't have an appellation.
Okay, awesome.
So
So basically,
remind me, like Spumante is more of a level of sparkling.
yeah, it's like a level of fizz, isn't it?
Spumante means sparkling.
Okay.
Okay.
Minus
But as
sparkling.
opposed to like frizzante, which is just
Yeah.
lightly sparkling,
Yeah.
Spumante's just got bigger beads.
Well, yeah, exactly, and the fact that usually the spumante is either either is made with a metodo charmato or with a metodo champenoise.
Gotcha.
Right.
It can
The
be either.
frizzante could be, added carbon dioxide to the.
Got it,
that's
okay.
right,
That's right.
Okay, awesome. So what grapes are we using? Are we doing Malvasia? Or are we doing?
No, we're doing
Toscano?
Sangiovese, 100%.
Oh, it's
Sangiovese.
red.
No, it's
No,
a Blanc de Noir.
It's just Blanc.
It's a
Oh,
Blanc de
okay.
Noir,
Oh,
like,
my goodness.
like a Pinot Noir.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's even cooler.
That's
I like that you did that. Okay. Oh man, I'm excited for that.
Thank you.
I'm even more excited now.
Yep.
That's awesome. What made you want to do it?
Tell you the truth, it started from an agronomic need. I needed to thin down the crop on the single vineyards where I make a Gran Selezione, and I said I don't want to throw away the grapes, so why don't I do what I do in France? When they pick the grapes so early, let's make a sparkling. And since I'm a wine geek, for me the sparkling is a method champenoise.
Right.
It's a traditional method.
Yeah.
That's when I started. So I said we'll do it proper way. So we do everything in house. We don't send because. Some wineries will send the wine to be done like in Trentino or in Franciacorta because they have the facility to make
Right.
sparkling wine, and then they will get the product back. Now we do everything in house. The product leaves the house, the winery only when it's ready to be drank. This is a 2016 vintage. It's has spent 4 years on lease, and it was the gorge on January 2021. So it's been 2 years already.
Wow.
Since it's the gorge.
That's incredible. If you would give me this blindly, I would never guess that it's Sangiovese.
No,
without a doubt. Like I would just be like, okay, you're giving me like something along the line of Blanc de Noir, but that is
I think Black de Noir would definitely be. I mean, even with
It's
the color,
close.
just an easy, not maybe an easy guess, but where I would lead towards this. But man, it's that nose is just incredible.
okay. So let's talk about what you spoke to me about with right off the air before we started. So we have our food here,
Yeah.
as you can see. We were talking about the prosciutto.
Yeah.
He immediately said, do not drink the red with it. So for the general population, everyone listening in, watching, can you tell them exactly why? Because the way you described it, I've personally never heard it described that way here. I just knew I've never enjoyed red with prosciutto or other cured meats like that. So please.
Yeah, the problem, the main, sometimes they say traditional mistakes you haven't been able to solve. There's a tradition in Tuscany that we have antipasto toscano, which is basically charcuterie. And every single restaurant in Tuscany will propose to you with a charcuterie a Sangiovese based wine, whether it's Brunello, whether it's Chianti Classico, and Nobile Montepulciano, Chianti. And that thing does not work because Sangiovese is a tannic grape, like Nebbiolo is. And the tannins clash with the blood component, the hematic component contained in charcuterie, because we're talking about raw meat, cured but raw meat.
Right.
And so that will bring out kind of metallic taste in your mouth, and you think it's a wine's fault. It's not the wine's fault, it's the pairing's fault. In fact, in Piemonte, when they have charcuterie, when they have something like o la carne cruda,
Right.
or la tartara, they will drink a fresa. Because Fresa,
yeah.
it's a red varietal that does not have tannins, or a Pilavelga, another red varietal that doesn't have tannins, or a Schiava in Trentino with the prosciutto. Or you can,
Tiraldago,
or you can, Tiraldago can be tannic,
Yeah.
but can be, not always, but can be. Or you can have a rosé, a white, provided it's not macerated white, because
Of course.
if not, you'll have tannins again. Or you can have a sparkling.
So it's funny you say that because one of my favorite things is rosé with
prosciutto.
prosciutto or anything, but especially with a tartare or carne de cura.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because again, I wasn't thinking about the tannins and the iron content in the blood, but for some reason we ate a lamb heart tartare one night, chef and I, and it was fantastic with the rosé. And I was like, man, from now on, anytime we
This
have a
is the
chef's
thing.
tasting to do and it's tartare on the menu, I'm doing rosé because also people are just thinking red meat, red wine, and I'm like,
Right.
no, you
No.
gotta try it this way, and it's fantastic. So the fact that you said that, okay, good. I feel good about myself.
And sometimes it can be tricky even in the steak. If the steak has not been cured well and still has oozes blood,
Right.
the red can be a problem sometimes.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful even with sometimes with the steak, especially if you eat it as we eat it in Florence, raw.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's one thing I can't wait to do is when I get to Florence one day, have some bistecca fiorentina. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I'm a big beef guy, so any chance I can get to eat a steak, but I know specifically that steak is Yeah, I mean,
Good stuff.
We say in
it's
Florence,
legendary.
we say in Florence, bistecca fiorentina is at least 3 fingers. Anything below that, we call carpaccio.
That makes
great.
sense.
It's true though. That is true. I mean, I'm the same way though. When I go to a butcher shop, I'm like 3 fingers, and they're like, "For real?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it has to be."
Please, thick. So I'm getting
This is killer. This is so
some
good.
incredible
Thank you so much.
This is so
Lee's
good.
integration on this. I mean,